I moved here when I was 14. You know, my mom wasn't even here. She was back home, and my dad's here, but he's a truck driver. So if I'm craving something, I have to learn how to cook by myself. Just like come up, with some idea and then, cook and give it a try. I love to eat. I really enjoy it. I want to share it with, people around me.
Eventually, the pandemic hit, and we started kind of providing traditional food to the Lao community for those that wanted it. Yeah, catering as such.
Well, not a lot of people offering like Lao homemade meal, right? And so we did that, give that a try, and then a lot of people requested. Second generation who move out from home, they know that they don't have a family or mom or dad to cook for them, right? And they're harder to find Lao food around here, right? So like, I'll give it a try,
And it got to the point we couldn't accommodate it in our kitchen anymore, and went out and found this space, knocked 4 or 5 items off our menu, added another 70, and here we are.
When we first opened, I think it was just like one other wine bar, and now I think there's 4, but that's good. I'm glad that there are others, because then people are like, oh, this is a thing, like there's a wine bar here and a wine bar here. We focus on mostly consignment wines. So wines that you won't find in the LCBO, so it kind of gives you an excuse to come out and try something here. And then we also try to have as many female wine producers and makers on the list as well. I love learning, and it's always like you can always be learning because there's always new product coming out, and I like the small details. I like to make sure that everything is running smoothly. Also just meeting people. People have the craziest stories, especially later into the night. I'm here more than I am at home. So, your work family and then your guests also become like your other family. So overall, I love it.
We are here usually about 90 to 100 hours a week.
It's gonna be hard for the first couple of years, but it's really hard, right, to run the business and raise the kid at the same time.
Gives the more of a family feel to the restaurant, which it is. It's not something we were shooting for, but it is what it is. I've never been so tired in my entire life. It's not too bad. They're getting better. Before they were very shy, which made it a little easier. Now they're quite bold in just going up and introducing themselves to customers.
When you go sit look at the camera, see if you see mom on the camera.
Ideally, we can put them to work in the not too distant future.
We opened September of 2021. The space became available and it was a little bit too good to turn down. Our opening months were still like nice and warm. People could sit outside. We were able to open our front windows and doors. But then as it got into the winter months and the restrictions came back, then it was a little scary. We pretty much went down to just me and one other staff. So that was a little hard. I didn't have a team to be working with. You really are aware of the fact that you are slow when it's just you working. So sometimes that was hard. This experience was awful for anyone who was in the hospitality industry. And there's a lot of bars in these 5 blocks. We all went through the same thing. And so now it's a bit more like, let's help each other out. I'm not trying to take away guests from you or get people to stay here all night. Of course I want them to if they want to, but if you're gonna go out and maybe wander around, it's like, well, hey, maybe check out this place instead of getting in your car and going home. So that's something I think that the pandemic has brought out. That's a good thing.
There's a lot of camaraderie, a lot of helping one another out.
We do have a lot of Lao community that come out and supporting us, right? And they seem to be really proud. At least we have little, not big, but something small to represent our country.
The thing I think that keeps us motivated is the feedback that we're getting from the community at large. The support has been, quite frankly, overwhelming, and right from day one.
I think when people find a good spot that they really like, they will come back and support it and tell their friends. And that's what's happened. So that's fun. That makes me happy.